I have no confirmation of the reports, but they do make sense in the sense that somebody is going to have to oversee the rebuilding of Gaza afterwards. Obviously, billions and billions of dollars are going to be spent rebuilding large parts of Gaza, possibly aid from the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. And what we need is somebody like Tony Blair, who has a lot of experience in the region. He was, to remind people, the Middle East peace envoy for about 6 years after he was British Prime Minister for 3 consecutive terms. So he enjoys fairly good relations with both Israelis and with Arab countries, not, I have to say, with those people who supported the former Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein, because of course he helped in the invasion of Iraq. And Blair is relatively young, he's 70 years old, and he doesn't have a full-time job, so you can't have someone like Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State, being doing such a thing, because whoever does this needs to devote himself 100% of the time. It's going to be a massive task to rebuild Gaza, and you need someone quite firm. So Blair, although he was the Labour Party Prime Minister, is a kind of centrist figure that bridges left and right. He enjoys relatively good relations with the Israeli government. He's not hostile to the government like one of his successors as Labour Party leader, Jeremy Corbyn, was. And he also has been tough in the sense that he's taken military action, for example, in Kosovo, Sierra Leone, and more controversially in Afghanistan and Iraq. But he's also been a peacemaker in Northern Ireland. He helped bridge the Protestant-Catholic divide, and he has a wealth of international experience. And what you don't want is corruption again. You don't want hundreds of billions or tens of billions going into Gaza, and it either going to be used by Islamist militants regrouping in terror tunnels, or by corrupt, more secular Fatah-type Palestinian officials, which is one reason why Hamas gained sympathy and support among Gazans in the first place. The incredible corruption of Yasser Arafat and his entourage in Gaza is why Hamas got support in the first place. So you need someone quite tough like Blair. So in a way, he would be a good choice, I think.
Now, his spokesperson denied it, denied those allegations or those reports.
Well, no. Interestingly, his spokesperson didn't deny that he'd been in Israel and met Netanyahu. What his spokesperson denied is the specific allegation that some Gazan refugees may be resettled in other countries temporarily before returning to Gaza as it's rebuilt. And he certainly doesn't want to put his name to that at this point, but he didn't deny being involved in a rebuilding effort in Gaza in general. It was a question of whether they would move Palestinian populations out of Gaza. That part he denied.
Right. Now, if not Blair, is there another personality or even a nation that you believe should or could step up to assist in resolving the situation in the day after in Gaza?
Well, it's an incredibly difficult Herculean task by anybody, and there would be some kind of historic irony that it would be a former British Prime Minister, because many people say that Britain, under the British Mandate, didn't resolve a two-state solution way back then, and part of the reason we still have such problems in this part of the world is to do with British diplomacy. So in a way it would circle us, or whatever. Ironic. It would be historic circling of an issue were former British Prime Minister to be a key figure. Look, I don't think Blair's perfect. A lot of people don't like him because he was involved in the invasion of Iraq alongside George W. Bush. However, I'm not sure who else there is. I mean, Blair is very involved. He knows, for example, Salam Fayyad, the former Palestinian Prime Minister, probably the only Palestinian leader who has tried to do state building in Palestinian territories rather than just commit jihad and attacks. You know, Fayyad was the former Palestinian Prime Minister. He tried to root out corruption. He had been an official in the World Bank in Washington and the IMF. He has a PhD in economics from the University of Texas. And someone like that working with Blair is a more moderate and less corrupt figure than a lot of other people in Palestinian politics, let's say.